Hey everyone, it's Nick Geo, and we are 3 days away from 2021. So I wanted to spend these last couple of days reflecting on 2020 because it was a very interesting year for basically everyone and a lot of emotions and whatnot. So I'm going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly for 2020 for me. I'm not going to be talking about just other people's 2020s. So let's get into it. And this is just a way for me to reflect and to figure out. I know one of the other videos, probably on New Year's Eve, I'll be talking about maybe like my hopes for 2021, but I gotta figure out what video I want to make tomorrow. So the good, and this will be like 3 to 5 things in each category. So the good was the big thing, landing the high school teaching job as a biology teacher and as an avid teacher. And that's after I got licensed. I got licensed back in April and I landed this job basically late August. So it was kind of late, and it was through a connection that I had made in my master's program because she is a teacher there. She got accepted in the spring. So it's good to have friends. And basically an emergency position where the teacher wanted to work from home to take care of her daughter, but the school didn't allow her, so she just basically quit. So, and I have a second year there. I got recommended to teach a second year next fall, so I'm excited for that. So, and they'll kind of that'll be in the 2021 video. Another thing was discovering Prolific, which is a website where you fill out academic surveys and like business surveys and stuff. And I made about $500 on that, and that's all tax free, so that's nice. Speaking of money, I also made about $2,000 from teaching tennis lessons over the summer, which was good because I at first was doubting that I would be able to do that because I thought, oh, no one's gonna want to have tennis lessons during this virus. But then I realized, hey, I might as well try, post on Craigslist, see what I get. And people were fine with it. I think we were able to distance pretty well. Like picking up balls, no one really cared if I touched the balls or if they touched the balls or whatever. And with tennis lessons, I can distance myself from them. Another thing which makes kind of this video possible and all the streaming I've done is I saved up for the PC and I bought all the parts in August. So that was really great because I always wanted to make the jump to a PC. I've had a laptop for about 10 years before that. And with PC, I can play any sort of PC game. I have the dual monitor, which helps me be more productive. I like that it's kind of a larger screen. And the only downside is that I can't bring it around. I can't bring it like to the first floor or to my bedroom. But I have the work laptop for that. For example, if I ever want to go to the library, which I used to do a lot for work. And then finally, just a couple of video games to highlight. Stardew Valley, which was early on in the year when I was student teaching, which is a really fun game. It's kind of like Animal Crossing. And I played it on the Xbox One. I sold the Xbox One in the summer to save up money for the PC. But I student taught January to March, so I kind of played Stardew Valley then. And then these days I've been playing Littlewood. You've seen some of the videos, but I really enjoy it. I have put in about 45 hours into it, and I'll probably put another 45 hours or so into it, but it's really fun. Like I played it for like 2 or 3 hours yesterday. Moving on, the bad, there are 5 bad things. So speaking of jobs and stuff, I was furloughed from my subbing job during the 10 weeks of spring because they didn't really need subs. And I lost out on the salary from that, which sucked because that would have been a couple $1,000. And I tried signing up for unemployment through Illinois' system, but I was denied because I put in the wrong deductible or something. It was weird. Like, I felt like their whole system, their website, and their customer service just wasn't good. And I think a lot of people had trouble getting unemployment through Illinois' office. And then speaking of subbing, I texted one of those people from my subbing job who I thought I was friends with in the summer, and again, another person from the subbing job during Thanksgiving, just say what's up and just to catch them up on what I'm doing, and they just didn't reply back to me, so I kind of got ghosted by them, which kind of sucked. And one of them, the one in the summer, she was someone I had a crush on for way too long, so that sucked. And then the third thing, the big one, is just the virus. For me, I wasn't worried about getting symptomatic or getting sick. I've been more worried about, just since I live with my mom and dad, catching it and giving it to them. And then sometimes I think, oh, what if I killed my parents? So that kind of sucked. And luckily, about 2 weeks ago, they got, or what was it? Yeah, about a week and a half ago, they both got the vaccine because they are doctors, so that was good. But in terms of the virus, I didn't get to travel a lot. My friends and I were gonna go to the Jersey Shore during Labor Day weekend for our fantasy football draft trip, but we got scared of flying by planes and trains and stuff, so we decided to move it to Chicago. So I haven't been outside of Illinois in about a year and a half, which is probably the longest I've ever gone without some sort of out-of-state travel. And I have a couple friends in Chicago who live near each other. I didn't want to hang out with them, which sucked because it's fun when I hang out with them. And just overall, I haven't been as social. For example, my birthday was in March 14th, which is right around things started to get shut down, and I was planning on having a birthday dinner with some of the friends in my area. There's about 4 of us, and then I had to tell them, hey, I can't because I got to think about my parents. And for 2 of those friends who are married to each other, I just haven't talked to them at all, so probably that friendship with them is dead. Another thing is I was rejected from a lot of school districts, which sucked. And I think the problem was that I am going to be a first year teacher, or I was going to be back then. And I think they have a big bias against new teachers, which sucks. Like, they usually go for the more experienced teacher. So that wasn't good. I had a couple of interviews, but not too much. So I thought that I was going to be sorry, I forgot to move the mic closer to me. I thought I was going to be a high school sub, and I actually had applied and landed a high school subbing job. And then actually during some of the training days, the institute days, that's when I got the call for the emergency role at the high school as a biology avid teacher. So, but yeah, it just kind of sucks feeling like I was in limbo, not knowing if teaching was going to be the thing for me, because if I subbed as a high school teacher, I was going to be planning on finding something in January. But if I didn't find something in January, and if I didn't find anything for fall 2021, I was just going to not pursue teaching anymore. So, and then the last thing was, we had a big flood here at our house in May. There's a lot of rain in Illinois, probably because of global warming, and our basement kind of got flooded, and it was probably about an inch or 2 of water. And my mom went down there, and she must have slipped or something, but she came back up and she said, oh yeah, I ruined the ping pong table, which sucks because we've had that ping pong table for 20 years, and it's something where I just go Forrest Gump style on it, just hitting off the wall. I just put up one of the sides, and it's really relaxing. I can listen to podcasts during that, or just music, and it's really fun. It's pure entertainment because there's no sort of ulterior motive of, oh, I want to play this game and have fun, but I also want to win, or stuff like that. So those are the 5 bad things. And then the ugly things, one of the guys I was teaching tennis lessons to, he's probably about 40. We got into a big texting argument, and it got heated, and names were thrown out. But long story short, we were both in the wrong, and I ended up not teaching him anymore, which I lost out on probably a couple $100 there. But the big thing was just all the name calling. It was definitely heated. Another argument I had was with my sister, who lives here, about a month ago. Luckily, she's moving out in about a month. Actually, exactly a month, because it's going to be January 29th. But she and I think we haven't really liked each other. And that's been kind of under the surface. And how we deal with it is, so we have to be around each other a lot, like when I'm on a break or when I'm working from home, because she also works from home as a sales job. We just try not talking with each other. So I fear what we are going to become when, let's say, my parents pass away. I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to getting together with my 3 sisters, because I'm not really close with any of them. I mean, one of them I'm like good with, but the other 2, one's neutral, and then she's kind of the negative. So, but we had a big argument, and our feelings came out about just not really liking each other. And she was saying, oh, I wanted to move out partly because I wanted to get away from you, and I said, oh, I'm glad you're moving out, blah blah blah. So that wasn't good. And then the last thing was during student teaching at the beginning of this year, which feels so long ago. But I had to do the EdTPA, the EDTPA, which is this student teaching project that everyone has to do now in Illinois. And it's a national project. And basically you plan out a whole week, but then you have to just plan it, create a bunch of stuff for it. You have to videotape yourself doing it and analyze the video in terms of your teaching skills and your interaction with students, and you have to reflect on it. It's so much work. It was probably, I don't know, about 50 to 75 hours to work on it. So it made the whole student teaching thing suck. Like, I wish I didn't have to do that, because then student teaching would have been better. And I don't even think the project was that useful. It's because I definitely learned a lot more just from regular student teaching. But it's something that maybe 5-10 years ago they didn't have to do here in Illinois, but now they do. And then with this pandemic and people working online this fall, I knew a student teacher at my high school, and he didn't have to do the EdTPA, so he was really lucky. So but those are 3 ugly things. And I mean, overall for me, 2020 wasn't too bad. I mean, the virus definitely changed things. I think the biggest thing was it made me land the high school teaching job, but it also made me lose out on subbing for 10 weeks. So it definitely affected my finances and my career path. But I mean, there was definitely good stuff. There was neutral stuff. And I would say overall, I am not too affected by the virus mentally. I think a lot of people are. They get nervous, or they get sad, or they've had family members or friends who've had the virus, or people pass away, stuff like that. But I've known a couple people that have had the virus, but they've gotten over it, so it's fine. And my way of life didn't change too much, because I don't really go to bars. I don't go to movie theaters, really. I don't go to restaurants. It was kind of the same. So I would say 2020 wasn't too bad. And you can quote me on that. So Have a good day, everyone. It is 8:30 in the morning right now, so I will see you all tomorrow. I gotta think of the video. All right, bye.